house in Connecticut. I ended up selling that, and I lived in well, first I lived in Dumbo with a couple of the roadies, the Geranius brothers, that worked for Blue Oyster Cult. Well, I guess Tony was, hey Hector, good night. Tony was working for Rush, and George was working for us. And then Tony eventually worked for BOC too. But then George quit. But anyway, the Geranius brothers, known him for a long time. Great guys. But I was living in their loft in Dumbo. And then I moved from there to Elizabeth, New Jersey, and lived with Tommy Morangello in his house.
Who played on?
He played on Imaginos, yeah. While we were working on Imaginos, I lived with Tommy. And then I moved back in with my ex-wife for a while, for a couple years.
Who was, at that point, your ex-wife?
No, we were separated, but then we sort of semi-reconciled and went to marriage counselors and all that stuff, and then decided, okay, no, we made the right choice. So we split up.
That was
got
a crazy
divorced.
time. You were going through that and the band thing, and
yeah, I think it all kind of
just too much.
Went together. And then I lived with Deborah Frost, who I ended up marrying, and we lived in a couple of different places, before we got married. So, and then now, of course, I'm living with my friend. Now I'm divorced from Deborah Frost. I'm living with my friend Mark, and then I go see my other friend. So what can I say?
It's good to have friends.
As a child, I moved around a lot. Okay, my dad worked for the government, for my early years. So I think by the time I moved down to New York City, I'd already lived in about 12 different places, 12 different cities. So I kind of have that restless spirit,
touring,
restless spirit. But and I get restless if I don't. I mean, it's very nice what's happening with Blue Coupe because we're getting all these gigs now, but all over the place. So it's fun to travel.
Let me ask you something about that record, though. When you were working on that stuff, was Tommy Price? Is that right?
Yeah.
On drums.
Yeah. I hired Tommy to play drums while I showed the band how to, and also I wanted to be the lead singer on the record. So Tommy Morangello said, "Well, you should concentrate on singing and not worry about drumming." And I said, "Okay."
So that was the plan, that you didn't expect to play drums on the album?
No, I was going to play drums on the album,
you were.
but Tommy was going to do, he was going to do the rehearsals. So we started making tapes of the rehearsals because I wanted to see if the arrangements were working or if the vocal was the right key for me.